writer for Collecting Toys magazine, Michael Van Plu, has joined us today. Hi, Michael. How are you, sir?
How you doing, John?
Glad you're here today.
Thank you very much.
Now, you collect Bionic memorabilia. How'd you get started?
I started about 14 years ago. I decided to walk into a store that I saw on the street, and it happened to be a collectible store. And I picked up my first $6 Million Man figure.
Yeah, now you got a whole bunch of stuff, yeah?
And now I've got Bionic Nirvana.
That's what he calls it, Bionic Nirvana. Let's talk about the first item that they put out, and that's this one here. Tell me about it.
That's the first issue $6 Million Man doll. It was so well played with. There's a lot of them out there. The very first issue came with an engine block.
And this is one in the box, which I guess you probably don't.
In the box one.
And what would that go for today? Do you know?
About $100.
About $100?
Right.
Now this is this is the first item that they put out, and this is the last here.
This is the very last item they put out, the Venus Space Probe. Very, very difficult to find. Many collectors are calling and asking for this. It's upwards values of $600.
Why is that?
Because it was the last item that came out. It's an actual piece directed from the show. So it's like based off of a real item from the show. That's why it's more expensive and why it's harder to find.
We spoke earlier about Chewbacca, and the very first Chewbacca really was Sasquatch from Bigfoot.
Exactly. The Bigfoot was the first figure out before Chewbacca, Star Wars Chewbacca, because the Star Wars stories were based off of some of the $6 Million Man toys. And Bigfoot has a
there it is,
bionic panel on his chest because he was a robot basically.
He was really Steve Austin's toughest opponent, wasn't he?
Pretty much, yeah. Him and the Venus Space Probe were two tough items.
Now, where are you finding most of this stuff today?
Usually at toy shows, through ads in various toy magazines, and pretty much.
Is it out there in flea markets? Can I go out there and find this stuff?
Mostly you'll find the stuff that's loose and broken apart and everything.
To get in the box is really tough.
Right, to get in the box of stuff, you have to go through dealers that deal in antique toys or collectible toys.
Now, she made a couple of appearances on the Bionic Man, got her own show.
Yep, Lindsay Wagner starred as the Bionic Woman, two-part episode of $6 Million Man. She actually died on the first show. And then they turned around and cryogenically froze her and made her come back to life because everybody screamed about saying, "You can't kill off this character. We love her. Bring her back." And so they did.
So you've got one in the box and again one out?
Oh, yeah. The Bionic Woman doll, the first issue is pretty rare to find now, especially mint in the box. And it runs for about 130.
130?
Right.
And then, I guess it got really popular somewhere else after it aired here in the United States.
Exactly. After it aired in America, they took the show down to Mexico. And from the early 80s is when they started producing their shows down there and came along and made
As a collector, do you like seeing that? That must be something different to see foreign, language on the front of the box.
I look for that stuff all the time now.
And what about the quality in the two, the one that was made in Mexico and the United States?
The quality is vastly different. The American versions are what's based on from the show, and any other foreign version is usually
a little different.
A little different.
Michael, thank you so much for stopping in and showing us this.
Thank you, John.
I'm glad this stuff is staying alive with you, because we get to go down memory alley with it.
Remember, we can rebuild him.
That's right. We have the technology. We also have the technology right now.